Hello world, welcome or welcome back. I am Goddess Dawn. It is Tuesday, July 16th, 2019, and I'm here to update you on R. Kelly's court date today. He actually was ordered held without bail, and this is coming from the Chicago Sun-Times. And I'm gonna just read a little bit of what happened in court today. So there was a lot of back and forth between the prosecutors and R. Kelly's attorney, Steve Greenberg, based on this article. It starts out by the headline, R. Kelly ordered held without bail. Prosecutors call him an extreme danger to the community. And in quotes, it says, how could he flee? He has no money, his attorney countered. There's no evidence that he's a risk to minors at all at this point. R. Kelly was ordered held without bail on Tuesday after federal prosecutors described him as an extreme danger to the community, especially to minor girls. And this happened at a hearing in the U.S. District Court in Chicago. And I have to add first off that at this hearing, Azriel Clary and Joycelyn Savage made an appearance, pictured here. Not looking so hot, in my opinion. I mean, I'm not here to judge the girls, but, you know, they look distressed. And so, yeah, they actually showed up. Moving on. Quote, the risk of obstruction is real. The risk is ongoing. This risk is heightened by the defendant's fame and power, one assistant U.S. attorney told Judge Harry Leinenweber. Kelly, quote, has a unique ability to influence and intimidate witnesses and victims, and that continues to this day, end quote. But Kelly's attorney, Steve Greenberg, said his client can be trusted not to flee if released from custody. Quote, unlike his most famous song, I Believe I Can Fly, Mr. Kelly doesn't like to fly, Greenberg said. And see, it's things like that, quotes like that, that this attorney makes that really just grinds my gears. Like, is that really the reason you're gonna give for keeping him out of jail? Is that he doesn't like to fly, so he's not gonna go anywhere? Like, someone who isn't like desperate for their life to flee the country or wherever to avoid jail time is not going to fly, even though they don't like to fly. I think the judge is being underestimated as far as their intelligence, and I think Steve Greenberg, as I've always said, is a clown. Moving on. How could he flee? He has no money, Greenberg added. There's no evidence that he's a risk to minors at all at this point. Federal prosecutors last week broadsided Kelly with 2 indictments that threatened to put him behind bars for the rest of his life. In Brooklyn and Chicago, Kelly faces a combined 18 counts for alleged crimes against 10 victims. Kelly's arraignment and detention hearing started at about 1 p.m. in Leinenweber's 19th floor courtroom at the Dirkskin Federal Courthouse. Camera crews have been camping out in the lobby since 9 a.m. Among those spotted going into the courthouse for the hearing were Joycelyn Savage and Azriel Clary, Kelly's live-in girlfriends. The use of phones, computers, and other devices were prohibited in court during the hearing. Journalists are able to report from a separate overflow room. Kelly faces a maximum prison sentence of 195 years in Chicago alone, and some charges here carry a mandatory minimum sentence of 10 years. The 52-year-old R&B singer faces decades more in New York, and Kelly already faced state charges that could put him behind bars for up to 30 years. Kelly has been locked up in Chicago's downtown Metropolitan Correctional Center ever since federal agents arrested him while he walked his dog around 7 p.m. Thursday near his downtown apartment. Prosecutors revealed their indictments the next day and that he should remain in custody. But Greenberg wants him out. Quote, the man's entitled to be held in a humane situation, end quote, Greenberg said in court Tuesday, adding, Mr. Kelly is a difficult person to have at the MCC because of other prisoners because of his notoriety. Prosecutors argued that home confinement and electronic monitoring are not sufficient. The defendant can entice girls to his own doorstep. He doesn't have to leave his home to do that, one told the judge Tuesday. In Chicago, Kelly faces 13 counts revolving around child pornography, enticing a minor to illegal sexual activity, and conspiracy to obstruct justice. Kelly is accused of thwarting his prosecution a decade ago with threats, gifts, and six-figure payoffs. Also named as defendants in that case are Kelly's longtime manager, Daryl McDavid, and Kelly employee Milton June Brown. In Brooklyn, Kelly faces a broader racketeering case alleging his music career was designed to enable and protect him as he sexually exploited young women by isolating them, controlling them, and making them call him daddy. Kelly has long denied wrongdoing. His attorney, Steve Greenberg, said the singer looks forward to his day in court, to the truth coming out, and to his vindication from what has been an unprecedented assault by others for their personal gain. The effort to prosecute Kelly gained steam with the release of, earlier this year, the Lifetime documentary series Surviving R. Kelly, but it dates to 2002 when Jim DeRogatis, then a music critic and reporter for the Chicago Sun-Times, received a sex tape he passed on to police. And then the article goes on to talk about how Kelly beat that case in 2008. He was acquitted, and the victim never took the stand. It goes on to say, but the new indictment in Chicago describes alleged behind-the-scenes maneuvering designed to protect Kelly as he faced that prosecution. It says Kelly, McDavid, and others intimidated the alleged victim and her parents into lying to police and a grand jury. They also allegedly paid hundreds and thousands of dollars as they tried to track down other tapes of Kelly having sex with minors before prosecutors found them. Mr. Kelly was the leader of that conspiracy to obstruct justice. Whatever his co-defendants did in furtherance of that obstruction of justice, they did on his behalf, one prosecutor argued in court on Tuesday. The indictment says Kelly gave his alleged victim a GMC Yukon Denali in August 2013 and continued to make payments to her as recently as October 2015. They say the case was somehow rigged, Greenberg said Tuesday, dismissing assertion. He went to trial. He didn't have a bench trial. He had a jury. Nevertheless, federal prosecutors, and that was Greenberg, quote, telling everybody that he went to trial and he beat the case. And he's denying that there was any coercion. There is no question that it is the defendant on these videos, one federal prosecutor argued in court on Tuesday. The New York indictment is in broader scope, alleging Kelly and others around him worked not only to promote his music and brand, but to recruit women and girls for illegal sexual activity. Kelly allegedly would not let his victims leave their room without his permission, not even to eat or go to the bathroom, forced to wear baggy clothing, forbade them from looking at other men, and required them to call him daddy. One victim in that case has alleged that when she came to Chicago to meet with Kelly, she was told to go to a recording studio where she was led to a bedroom. An associate of Kelly's there copied her driver's license and made her sign what she thought was a non-disclosure agreement. Then she said she spent 3 days locked in the bedroom, records show. Finally, after someone gave her something to eat and drink, she said she became tired and dizzy. She woke up, this is in quotes, she woke up sometime thereafter to the defendant with her in the bedroom in circumstances that made clear he had sexually assaulted her while she was unconscious, prosecutors wrote. So there you have it. That's all the information that was provided in the article to lead to the fact that R. Kelly is now ordered held without bail in jail. I didn't see any mention of him being extradited to New York. Looks like they might have just battled it out here in Chicago before, I guess, dealing with that aspect of the case. So as promised, I'm just trying to keep you guys updated. If you happen to just come across this and you're not subscribed, please go ahead and do so. And go ahead and like this video also. Let me know you were here, and go ahead and comment. I'm always here for that. Thank you, as always, for checking me out. Until next time, peace.